Welcome to our defense briefing show, everyone. Today we've got some action-packed updates from around the world. First up, President Donald Trump announced that the US has launched a powerful and deadly strike against the ISIS forces in northwest Nigeria. The operation was aimed at groups responsible for violent attacks, mainly targeting Christians. While details are scarce, Trump made it clear that this was a strong response to ongoing persecution, and US defense officials executed the strike successfully. Talk about taking a stand. Next, in the realm of naval ambitions, Trump revealed plans for a new class of battleships equipped with hypersonic missiles and lasers, aiming to deter China. But hold on. There are doubts about whether this ambitious project can actually get off the ground due to technical funding and industry hurdles. Some experts warn it might just escalate tensions rather than shift the naval power balance. It's a high-stakes game. Finally, over in Israel, the Air Force has unveiled a new rapid response unit designed to prevent ground invasions like the one on October 7th. This new force will deploy helicopters, drones, and fighter jets within minutes to defend borders more effectively. It's a major shift towards proactive defense, with pilots now authorized to engage threats swiftly. That's a big step in border security. Please continue to watch for more detailed insights on these stories and more, right here on Defense Briefing. According to the Associated Press, President Donald Trump announced that the United States had launched a powerful and deadly strike against Islamic State (ISIS) forces in northwest Nigeria, targeting militants responsible for a recent surge in violence against Christians. Trump emphasized that this military action was in response to the group's brutal targeting and killing of innocent Christians, marking a significant escalation in U.S. efforts to combat religious persecution in the region. The White House did not disclose details about the operation's execution or its aftermath, but Trump's social media posts conveyed a strong message of American resolve, asserting that the U.S. would not tolerate radical Islamic terrorism. This move followed previous warnings and planning by the Pentagon, alongside the State Department's decision to restrict visas for Nigerians involved in violence against Christians, and Nigeria's designation as a country of particular concern under the International Religious Freedom Act. The South China Morning Post echoes this narrative, highlighting Trump's declaration of a powerful and deadly strike aimed at ISIS militants in Nigeria, specifically in the northwest region. The Post underscores the severity of the group's targeting of Christians, which Trump described as unprecedented in recent history. Similar to the AP report, the Post notes the lack of specific operational details and the absence of immediate information about the strike's impact. Trump's rhetoric underscores a firm stance against radical Islamic terrorism, framing the military action as a decisive response to ongoing persecution. The article also references the broader context of U.S. diplomatic and military measures, including visa restrictions and Nigeria's designation as a concern under international religious freedom laws, illustrating a comprehensive approach to addressing the crisis. The Sydney Morning Herald further details the U.S. airstrikes in northwest Nigeria, with President Trump reiterating that the operation targeted ISIS militants responsible for violence against Christians. Trump's statement on Truth Social emphasizes the U.S. military's precision and effectiveness, claiming that the strikes were numerous perfect strikes executed by the Department of War, reflecting American confidence in their military capabilities. The article frames the strikes within the larger narrative of U.S. efforts to protect vulnerable religious communities and combat terrorism. Trump's firm language underscores the administration's resolve to confront radical Islamic groups, asserting that the U.S. will continue to take aggressive action to prevent further persecution and violence, signaling a clear stance against extremism in the region. South China Morning Post reports that President Donald Trump has unveiled an ambitious plan to build a new class of Navy battleships, dubbed The Trump class, intended to serve as the core of an expanded Golden Fleet aimed at asserting U.S. naval dominance and deterring China. These ships, larger, faster, and purportedly 100 times more powerful than previous vessels, are designed to be armed with hypersonic missiles, nuclear cruise missiles, railguns, and lasers, with the first ship, USS Defiant, targeted for construction in the early 2030s. However, analysts warn that the plan faces significant hurdles, including systemic issues within the U.S. shipbuilding industry, funding uncertainties, and the risk of provoking an arms race with China, which already boasts the world's largest navy and aims to produce 9 aircraft carriers by 2035. Despite the U.S.'s qualitative edge, experts highlight the challenges of actualizing such a massive naval buildup amid ongoing delays and technological complexities, raising questions about whether this bold vision will materialize or remain a strategic aspiration. Australian Broadcasting Corporation shares a compelling glimpse into cricket as a symbol of resilience during wartime, recounting how prisoners of war in 1944 played cricket in a German POW camp in Poland. Private Maurice Kelk's diary, decorated with cartoons, reveals that even in the direst conditions, dusty courtyards, makeshift pitches, and limited equipment, prisoners found solace and camaraderie through the sport. These matches, sometimes attracting thousands of spectators, served as vital morale boosters amid the hardships of war, illustrating sport's unifying power in times of adversity. The collection also features the Ersatz Ashes, a humorous and poignant record of cricket matches among POWs from Australia, England, and New Zealand, painted with cartoons of animals and nations battling it out, symbolizing the prisoners' enduring love for the game and their ability to find moments of normalcy and joy despite the brutal circumstances. Yahoo US offers a vivid account of Donald Trump's Christmas at Mar-a-Lago, where he spent the holiday playing golf, announcing the creation of a Trump's class of Navy ships, and engaging in festive activities. The president's days were filled with rounds of golf at nearby clubs, calls to service members to wish them a Merry Christmas, and tracking Santa's journey with NORAD's Santa Tracker, during which he humorously responded to children's questions about Santa and coal. The highlight was a lavish Christmas Eve dinner in the estate's gilded ballroom, where Trump celebrated with Melania and shared a holiday message targeting political opponents. Throughout the holiday, Trump emphasized his efforts to bolster the U.S. military and industry, blending personal leisure with strategic messaging, all set against the backdrop of his luxurious Palm Beach estate, reflecting a holiday season marked by both tradition and political bravado. The Israeli Air Force has recently announced a significant transformation in its border defense strategy, unveiling a new rapid response unit designed to prevent ground invasion similar to the October 7th attack. This initiative, spearheaded by Brig. Gen. Gilad Bartal, involves deploying helicopters within minutes or an hour to swiftly neutralize invaders, thus reinforcing the border defenses that were found to be lacking during the surprise assault. The force has been bolstered with more helicopters, drones, and fighter jets, and rules of engagement now grant pilots greater discretion to open fire based on real-time threat assessments. Despite these advancements, the helicopter fleet remains smaller than the pre-2013 era, but the increased readiness and expanded bombing capacity, rising from 16 to 60 bombs in the first hour, mark a decisive shift toward proactive border protection. The IDF has also redefined its operational protocols, emphasizing border defense as a core mission and establishing a new command structure to ensure rapid and coordinated responses to invasions, with plans to train continuously for various scenarios and to streamline decision-making during crises. Lebanon's President Joseph Aoun has emphasized the ongoing diplomatic efforts to prevent a full-scale war with Israel, despite the persistent threat of conflict. In his Christmas speech, he highlighted that our diplomatic contacts have not stopped to ward off the specter of war, acknowledging that tensions remain high. Aoun expressed hope for a new Lebanon founded on accountability and strong institutions, moving away from sectarian divisions, and reaffirmed his commitment to holding elections as scheduled, an essential step toward stability. He described the ongoing conflict in southern Lebanon as a bleeding wound and called for peace, underscoring the fragile state of regional stability. Meanwhile, diplomatic dialogues continue, with Lebanese leaders striving to manage tensions and avoid escalation amid the complex geopolitical landscape, even as the threat of conflict persists. Pope Leo's Christmas message took a notably compassionate and politically charged turn as he addressed the plight of Palestinians in Gaza, urging the global community to remember their suffering amid ongoing conflict. During his sermon, he drew a poignant parallel between the humble birthplace of Jesus and the tents of Gaza, which have been exposed to harsh elements for weeks, symbolizing the vulnerable and suffering populations caught in the crossfire. The Pope's appeal extended beyond Gaza, lamenting the suffering of migrants and refugees worldwide and calling for an end to all wars, particularly mentioning conflicts in Ukraine, Sudan, Mali, Myanmar, and Southeast Asia. His message emphasized the importance of dialogue and reconciliation, urging nations to restore old friendships and work toward peace. Through his words, Pope Leo sought to remind the world of the human toll of war and the moral imperative to pursue peace and aid for the oppressed, echoing the spirit of hope and compassion during the holiday season. According to Yahoo US, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky delivered a poignant Christmas message, openly acknowledging that many Ukrainians harbor dark thoughts of wishing Vladimir Putin's demise, yet emphasizing their collective desire for peace and harmony. Zelensky's words reflected a somber reality, especially as he unveiled a new 20-point peace plan aimed at fortifying Ukraine's eastern defenses against ongoing Russian aggression, which has persisted since 2014. Despite this diplomatic effort, Russia continued its brutal assault, launching missile and drone strikes against Ukraine's energy infrastructure during the holiday season, even as Zelensky lamented the suffering of his people enduring their fourth wartime Christmas, the largest conflict in Europe since World War II. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov responded dismissively, calling Zelensky's message uncultured and questioning his rationality, further illustrating the deepening tensions. Meanwhile, Moscow was evaluating recent peace proposals from Miami, signaling ongoing diplomatic negotiations amid a war that shows no signs of abating. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopsis thoughtfully curated by the 6th DO team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6th DO Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6th DO team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6th DO Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6thdobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6th DO Brief via email.
News breaks, buzz the ground, stories spit, walls come down, voices merge in the sound, faces mix in the crowd. Broadcasters paint the scene, world events on our screen, every link a different theme, Lives day by day, hidden truths come to play. In the background, shades of gray, every story finds its way. Just like this day by day, hidden truths come to play. In the background, shades of gray, every story finds its way. Cultures, I go, what really or do not, what enough to be you, everything and ever, what enough enough to, what enough enough to, what enough 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 enough